The dire threat of Iran is widely recognized to be the most serious foreign policy crisis facing the Obama administration. General Petraeus informed the Senate Committee on Armed Services in March 2010 that the Iranian regime is the primary state-level threat to stability in the U.S. Central Command Area of Responsibility, the Middle East and Central Asia, the primary region of United States global concerns. The term, stability, here has its usual technical meaning, firmly under United States control. In June 2010, Congress strengthened the sanctions against Iran, with even more severe penalties against foreign companies. The Obama administration has been rapidly expanding United States' offensive capacity in the African island of Diego Garcia, claimed by Britain, which had expelled the population so that the United States could build the massive base it uses for attacks in the Central Command area. The Navy reports sending a submarine tender to the island to service nuclear-powered guided missile submarines with Tomahawk missiles, which can carry nuclear warheads. Each submarine is reported to have the striking power of a typical carrier battle group. According to a United States Navy cargo manifest, obtained by the Sunday Herald Glasgow, the substantial military equipment Obama has dispatched includes 387 bunker busters, used for blasting hardened underground structures. Planning for these most powerful bombs in the arsenal short of nuclear weapons was initiated in the Bush administration, but languished. On taking office, Obama immediately accelerated the plans, and they are to be deployed several years ahead of schedule, aiming specifically at Iran. The Arab press reports that an American fleet, with an Israeli vessel, passed through the Suez Canal on the way to the Persian Gulf, where its task is to implement the sanctions against Iran, and supervise the ships going to and from Iran. British and Israeli media report that Saudi Arabia is providing a corridor for Israeli bombing of Iran. This is of course denied by Saudi Arabia. On his return from Afghanistan, to reassure NATO allies that the United States will stay the course after the replacement of General McChrystal by his superior, General Petraeus, chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff Admiral Michael Mullen, visited Israel to meet IDF Chief of Staff Gabi Ashkenazi and senior military staff along with intelligence and planning units. Continuing the annual strategic dialogue between Israel and the U.S., the meeting focused on the preparation by both Israel and the U.S. for the possibility of a nuclear-capable Iran, according to Haaretz, which reports further that Mullen emphasized that, "I always try to see challenges from Israeli perspective." Mullen and Ashkenazi are in regular contact on a secure line. The increasing threats of military action against Iran are of course in violation of the UN Charter, and in specific violation of Security Council Resolution 1887 of September 2009, which reaffirmed the call to all states to resolve disputes related to nuclear issues peacefully, in accordance with the Charter, which bans the use or threat of force. Some analysts who seem to be taken seriously describe the Iranian threat in apocalyptic terms. Amitai Etzioni warns that the U.S. will have to confront Iran or give up the Middle East, no less. If Iran's nuclear program proceeds, he asserts, Turkey, Saudi Arabia, and other states will move toward the new Iranian superpower. To rephrase in less fevered rhetoric, a regional alliance might take shape independent of the United States. In the United States Army Journal Military Review, Etzioni urges a United States attack that targets not only Iran's nuclear facilities, but also its non-nuclear military assets, including infrastructure, meaning the civilian society. This kind of military action is akin to sanctions, causing pain in order to change behavior, albeit by much more powerful means. Such inflammatory pronouncements aside, what exactly is the Iranian threat? An authoritative answer is provided by military and intelligence reports to Congress in April 2010. Quote, "The brutal clerical regime is doubtless a threat to its own people, though it does not rank particularly high in that respect in comparison to United States allies in the region. But that is not what concerns the military and intelligence assessments. Rather, they are concerned with the threat Iran poses to the region and the world. The reports make it clear that the Iranian threat is not military. Iran's military spending is relatively low compared to the rest of the region, and of course minuscule as compared to the United States. Iranian military doctrine is strictly defensive, designed to slow an invasion and force a diplomatic solution to hostilities. Iran has only a limited capability to project force beyond its borders. With regard to the nuclear option, Iran's nuclear program and its willingness to keep open the possibility of developing nuclear weapons is a central part of its deterrent strategy. Though the Iranian threat is not military aggression, that does not mean that it might be tolerable to Washington. Iranian deterrent capacity is considered an illegitimate exercise of sovereignty that interferes with United States global designs. Specifically, it threatens United States control of Middle East energy resources, a high priority of planners since World War II. As one influential figure advised, expressing a common understanding, control of these resources yields substantial control of the world. But Iran's threat goes beyond deterrence. It is also seeking to expand its influence. Iran's current 5-year plan seeks to expand bilateral, regional, and international relations, strengthen Iran's ties with friendly states, and enhance its defense and deterrent capabilities. Commensurate with that plan, Iran is seeking to increase its stature by countering U.S. influence and expanding ties with regional actors while advocating Islamic solidarity. In short, Iran is seeking to destabilize the region, in the technical sense of the term used by General Petraeus. United States invasion and military occupation of Iran's neighbors is stabilization. Iran's efforts to extend its influence in neighboring countries is destabilization, hence plainly illegitimate. It should be noted that such revealing usage is routine. Thus the prominent foreign policy analyst James Chase, former editor of the main establishment journal Foreign Affairs, was properly using the term stability in its technical sense when he explained that in order to achieve stability in Chile, it was necessary to destabilize the country by overthrowing the elected Allende government and installing the Pinochet dictatorship. Beyond these crimes, Iran is also carrying out and supporting terrorism, the reports continue. Its Revolutionary Guards are behind some of the deadliest terrorist attacks of the past 3 decades, including attacks on United States military facilities in the region and many of the insurgent attacks on coalition and Iraqi security forces in Iraq since 2003. Furthermore, Iran backs Hezbollah and Hamas, the major political forces in Lebanon and in Palestine, if elections matter. The Hezbollah-based coalition handily won the popular vote in Lebanon's latest election. Hamas won the 2006 Palestinian election, compelling the United States and Israel to institute the harsh and brutal siege of Gaza to punish the miscreants for voting the wrong way in a free election. These have been the only relatively free elections in the Arab world. It is normal for elite opinion to fear the threat of democracy and to act to deter it, but this is a rather striking case, particularly alongside of strong United States support for the regional dictatorships, emphasized by Obama with his strong praise for the brutal Egyptian dictator Mubarak, on the way to his famous address to the Muslim world in Cairo. The terrorist acts attributed to Hamas and Hezbollah pale in comparison to U.S.-Israeli terrorism in the same region, but they are worth a look nevertheless.